Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reviewers, if you're listening to it, it is the top of July, the year of our Lord 2020. D.R. JB, that stands for during Rona, trademark symbol.
There it is.
Who knows what month it is? Who knows what day it is really? Because damn, it just.
Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? One of our favorite songs from Chicago, baby. You know what I'm saying? Does anybody really know what time it is? And hell no, we don't know what time it is. I do know what time it is right now. It's time for the JB and Benny Blue Review. We appreciate all you motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? We're rocking with us forever. We are busy as ever, but really doing nothing. Right? You know what I'm saying? We are really doing nothing. We're busy as fuck, doing absolutely nothing. So what we are doing is we bringing this funk right back to you reviewers. Benny, I want to start this episode off by telling you one of the funniest things I've ever seen or heard in my life on the Twitter. As Betty White so eloquently puts it, the Twitter. Shannon Sharp, you know how I feel about Uncle Shay Sharp, man. It's my guy. I love him.
Friend of the show.
He entertains me every time he opens his mouth to say something. I know it's going to be good. So, what's the name of the show? Undisputed was showing a clip about Ezekiel Elliott. He had a little incident. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was this off season or it had to be something recent, right? So he was on a live stream playing the game, right? Playing the PlayStation, I think.
Heard about this a little
bit. He kind of wilded out a little bit or something. Whatever he did was inexcusable in the eyes of the Cowboys and the world. And so his excuse was, I was low-key faded, right? So whoever the young lady is who was the hostess of the show, right? So whoever the young lady is that hostess of the show, I can't never think of my name. I really don't watch the show, you know, so I just watch clips of Shannon talking. So she said, Shannon, basically like, Shannon, what do you think about this? Yada, yada, yada. Uncle Shay Sharp said, and I quote, shoot, I'm low-key faded myself right now. He said it's on national television, dog. Hey, he's a national treasure. We have to protect him at all costs. Uncle Shay Sharp, you know I love you, nephew. You know we love you, friend of the show. Hopefully guest one day. All right, man, you talking about a wild show. But either way it goes, Benny, it is June the 30th.
Yeah.
2020, in the year of our Lord. All right, and like you said, in the year of the Rona, right? Yeah, we're just kind of here, man. Just kind of floating on a dream, bro. Like, I ask myself sometimes when I watch the news and I just kind of sit back and think, like, what the fuck is going on today, man? There's so much shit cracking, like, from the social injustice protesting to COVID-19 to, oh my God, like fucking Pumpkinhead. There's something new every day with this motherfucker. And like, bro, Marvin Gaye wrote a song, one of the greatest songs ever made. And the chorus says, what's going on? And we are right back in that situation, Benny, in 2020. As I believe that song came out in what, 1976 maybe? All right.
Something like that.
Damn.
Man, I'll tell you what. You want another Marvin Gaye song that's been on my playlist that almost every lyric applies today? Man, young people, if you don't know about the Inner City Blues, almost every bar
Inner City Blues. Yes, sir. Yeah, make you want to holler. Shit, what you mean?
And what,
phenomenal.
And what? Throw up both my hands.
Throw up both my hands, bro. Throw up both my hands. I don't know what else to do. Just fuck it. Shout out to the late great Marvin Gaye. Listen, as you can hear reviewers, we'll be fuddled. We're flabbergasted. We're confused. We're happy to be here. All right.
Yeah,
we got definitely that.
We got each other, damn it, in these dark end of days.
We do.
We still have each other.
That's right.
Speaking of the Twitter, JB, to quote a tweet by Ja Rule, we too were bamboozled and led astray. All right. Yeah, that's just that's what he talked about. You remember that when he tweeted about a Fire Fest, that scam?
Right.
He said I too was bamboozled, led astray. You know, I think it was bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray.
Right. The great Malcolm X said that. So when you were saying that, all I could think about, as soon as you said Ja Rule, all I could think about is the great Dave Chappelle said, nobody gives a fuck what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this. Who the fuck gives what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this? Now, as soon as you said his name, I was like, who the fuck? In my mind, I was like, who the fuck gives Ja Rule?
He's too busy doing fucking gyro commercials and shit during the Rona. I mean, get your paper, sir. But I mean,
do your thing, bro. Like, I mean, hopefully they gave you a hot, you know what I'm saying, 100 for that.
Right,
talking about gyros and motherfucking roast beef sandwiches.
Right,
shit.
more than just a free sandwiches for a year card. Look at JB's a Twitter king. You can see us posting content at JB and Benny Blue on all social media platforms. We're on all streaming platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We always cut up clips so you can know what we're talking about. And if you like what you hear, damn it, then you can subscribe to the whole thing. It's like an appetizer to the meal, if you will. If you like a little hot 5 to 7 minute clip, then damn it, you're probably gonna fuck with the full episode. JB, I know it's weird times. I know we were gonna record last week, but I do want to shout out friend of the show, past guest, and he'll be a guest again. Shout out to my guy, my friend for over 10 years, a friend of the podcast, hilarious Mr. Jahan Jones. My man got engaged.
Got engaged, man. Shout out to Juhan. Yeah, got him a beautiful woman. You probably seen her in his videos. A mini day, you know what I'm saying? All these little funny little skits and sketches they do. My man popped the question, man. At the Juneteenth festival, right?
Yes.
At the Juneteenth celebration, right? Yeah. Yes. I had to miss that, man. You know what I'm saying? I know it was a great time in the park, you know what I'm saying, kicking it. When the last time we went to Jahan's little deal in the park, you know what I'm saying? That was that was like 2016. That was a couple years ago. It was at the same place. It looks like it was fairly well attended. People social distance, wore the mask, the whole thing. Right.
For the reviewers that are still unsure about where Uncle Blue is, where he's down with the cause, your man got a direct invite. All right, I got a direct invite, so I'm in there. You know, people know where my heart's at. I got a direct invite to a Juneteenth event. So,
of course.
Come on,
of course. Man. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Down by law. That's what we call down by law, baby. You know what I'm saying? All that.
Yep. There it is. All right. Look, I mean, like JB said in our patent production meeting, you know, this would normally be basketball seasons, normally be baseball. There'd be big mega fights happening. There's fights happening on like the Cayman Islands or some shit in a bubble. There's all different types of workarounds that people are doing to get sporting events to happen, I guess. But nonetheless, it happens.
Shout out to Top Rank Boxing for really coming through in the clutch and having some good fights on for like the last 3 weeks. Like, that's been a great fix. Shout out to the PGA for having these tournaments and doing all these things that they're doing to practice social distancing and to practice good health and safety, but still bringing you the products to golf. Yeah, it's not the same, you know what I'm saying, as having fucking 500,000 people there, you know what I'm saying, to watch the event. I get it, but hey, we getting our fixes, Benny. We getting our fixes, bro. Like, we getting our minister fixes. NASCAR kicked in the high gear. They said, fuck it, we're gonna run some races. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bubba. You know what I'm saying? And they down there in Talladega putting nooses on the motherfucking side of the building and shit.
Right.
Oh, I got a PSA to all you racist motherfuckers out there, like, hiding your face when you do shit.
Right.
Show your face, motherfucker. Like, let it be known. Why you faggot ass KKK motherfuckers running around with hoods on your head? Fuck you hiding for? You want to do all this racist shit and talk all this crazy shit, but you don't want to unmask yourself? You weak motherfucker. Don't nobody take your ass seriously, punk. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody take you seriously. Take that fucking mask off. Take your hood off your head, KKK motherfucker, and then talk some shit. And then we'll see how you fare. And one of the dopest things I seen during the protest is a sign a young lady was holding up that said, "We are not our ancestors. We'll fuck you up." You know what I'm saying? So keep on with the bullshit. It's a new day. We got Karens getting socked out everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Karens is getting mashed out all over the great state. It's the 50 states and 2 territories. Karens is getting mashed out. It is a new fucking day, Benny. All right? I had to say that. You know what I'm saying? Again, we're talking about Twitter. I seen some shit on Twitter 2 days ago. It just kind of riled me up, you know? Don't be a coward, bro. You got something to say it. Show your face. You know what I'm saying? Don't be no punk. I had a little incident on Twitter last week, Benny, where some coaches coming at me because of a comment I made from the video.
I was like, if somebody came at you on some sideways Klan shit, I was like, what the fuck?
I probably would be in jail right now. You know that firsthand. So it's a little kid behind me that flies a Confederate flag on his truck. He's this close to getting snatched out that fucking truck one day and beat to death with that fucking flagpole. But that's another story for another day. So these coaches came at me sideways because I asked about a video that was posted. It was a D-lineman's video, but he was just thrashing these young men at offensive linemen. I mean, it was just bad, right? And I never blamed the soldier. I blamed the general. You know what I'm saying? So I simply stated, Benny, who is teaching these kids to play offensive line? That's all I asked. Boy, did I ruffle some feathers. Oof.
Oh, you did.
I mean, so I'm giving you a with the Alliance O-line, who I still don't know who you are. Who are these people? If somebody from Alliance O-line listen to this show, send us a message. Benny, what's the phone number?
818-850-2804. You can leave us a message.
That's right, man. You heard what he said. Give us a call. All right, at the JB and Benny Blue Review at gmail.com. Shoot us an email, right? My Twitter, you know me, B-I-G. Benny's Twitter is, what is it, Benny Blue Eyes?
That's right.
Benny Blue Eyes on Twitter and Instagram. You got a million ways to find me. I still don't know who these people are, Benny. So I made a video, right?
Yeah.
Benny saw the video.
Got a lot of views, by the way.
Most of your viewers saw the video. Huh?
Got quite a bit of views, actually. A lot of people saw it.
Right. A lot of people saw it. And I did that so that people could see my face and hear my voice. Right. So see my face, mouth moving, words project out. Now you know who you're talking to, right? Like Achilles said on motherfucking Troy, he took his mask off and he said, now you know who you fight. Mm-hmm. Don't be dumb, man. Don't be dumb.
Right.
Holler at me. I'm right here.
Right.
Right here. I had a conversation with a great coach the other day in Boise. And we were just talking football, man. He had some things he wanted to talk about, Benny, some things he wanted to lay on me idea-wise. You know, profess to know everything. I have the cardiologist position and how to teach it and how to coach it. So we had a nice conversation about an hour. I'm going to send him some videos tomorrow after I get through training some kids in the morning to help them out with some drills. But that's what it's about, right? Show my face. I want people to know who they're dealing with. So all you cowards out there that's doing this racial shit, that don't want nobody to see your face, take the mask off, bro. Take the mask off, and we're going to see how it go from there, all right? I had to get that off my chest, man. I apologize. Let's get to what we're talking about.
No, it was a good segue because we've talked about the idea of introducing almost kind of its own unique piece of content that we're going to do as a part of our, our YouTube channel, our social media, and I like the idea that you presented. So for all the O-line coaches, anybody involved in the trenches, young players on the come up, if you're looking for some guidance or you want Dr. Jeremy Eugene Bridges III Esquire to break down some film to explain why he was offering a critique to some technique or hands and feet or all that good stuff, we're going to introduce a new thing called Hog Talk, where you can send us a clip. You can email us a clip, jbandbennybluereview@gmail.com, and I'm going to put all this on post so you can see it. And again, we're going to invite O-line coaches all around the world, whether you're high school level, college level, hell, even pro level if you want some game. And you have to leave a message in terms of this is the requirement, 818-850-2804. Again, this is going to be in the directions. You have to leave us a message that we can play before JB starts breaking down the clip, because we want to know what you are seeing. We can't have this back and forth if JB shows his face and then you're going to hide behind the Twitter fingers, word to McMill. You can't do all that. If he's going to show his face and tell you and give you the invitation, you can't sit there and throw the stones from the glass house. We ain't doing that. So this is how we're gonna hog talk.
That's right.
That's how we're gonna do it. All right, look, we're primarily a goddamn football podcast, so let's get to a little bit. Superman Cam Newton got the deal. $1 million to start, 7.5 with incentives if he hits all the incentives. And of course, 2020 is such a bizarro world. He ends up on the goddamn Patriots. JB, what was your instant reaction when you saw? Okay, they went ahead and just took the Rona plunge and signed Cam.
That's the Rona plunge. They didn't take no Rona plunge. They upgraded themselves. That was what they did. And I called this shit on our last episode. We had guest Chad, you know what I'm saying? My man Chad came in, and I had to break it down to Chad about what it was, right? So I broke it down in the podcast. I broke it down in the streets. People started asking about Cam Newton. I say the same thing. And I've been saying it for about a month and a half, 2 months. He's going to the Patriots. They're like, oh, well, they don't want to deal with his flamboyancy. They don't want to deal with his funny hats and the funny clothes. I said, Bill Belichick don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I said, Bill Belichick gonna have a fucking scarf on his goddamn head before you know it. You know what I'm saying? Cam Newton is going to the Patriots. I said it, I preached it, I knew it. I didn't know how long he was gonna go for, but I knew he was gonna go to the Patriots. They didn't have no quarterback. They had this one cat they quote unquote got faith in. They don't, right? And with a veteran quarterback like Cam floating around, what I said in the last podcast review is Cam got real quiet all of a sudden, right? So he went from fucking, they gave up on me, you know what I'm saying? Then he put the last video he put out was him moving and throwing the ball, right? That was the last video he put out, and that was the video that the last one that he put out before he talked to Belichick. After that, Belichick was like, Cam, relax, good, we'll sign you, wait till everything get back going and flowing, we'll sign you, we don't want to do it right now. We don't want to motherfucking, give him something to talk about right now. When we want to do it, and that's that. And you ain't heard shit from Cam. Nothing. He ain't put out another video. Somebody else put one out about him playing basketball with somebody. Right? I knew
he's playing with Migos.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right, Migos, Todd Gurley, a lot of folks out there. So I knew it was gonna happen. And I knew where it was gonna go. Right? I just knew it. And congratulations to the Patriots. Because they won. Fuck you mean? They won. They lost their general. You know what I'm saying? He flew the coop. He did it. He did what he felt best for him. Now they got Cam. Excuse me, reviewers. My allergies are real in these streets. I'm gonna blow my damn nose.
Right. It's so crazy that it's got JB fucking coughing because he can't believe how sick of a robbery it was to actually get caught. I mean, it's like, it's a beautiful. I think it's a beautiful thing for both parties. And the easy thing you see the criticism from Richard Sherman, which a lot of it makes sense, but you got to look at it from a team perspective and a player perspective. They're saying, how could a former MVP sign for that much? Well, they're not questioning his ability. They're questioning his health. So how is he going to be available? And they want to make sure that he can play and is going to be a fit. And worst case scenario to me, JB, if he's in a situation where he ends up playing pretty well, let's say they go 8-8, 9-7, maybe even 10-6. He's not obligated, nor are they, to extend him. So he may be putting on a good audition tape to get a big deal somewhere else. If they decide, you know what, we want to go back in the draft, we want to take somebody, and if they don't want to sign him to a long-term deal. Because it was never the question of ability. It was a question of he's been fucked up because, I mean, let's be honest, the line was kind of shaky with how their offense was operating. He was getting fucked up, and now he's back healthy. So they know what he's capable from a ability standpoint. And like you said, he's with Belichick. He's with the right combination of coach and offensive coordinator to really hone in the arm and make sure that he can really, perform as a quarterback and not try to be savior and have to do a design run on third down and actually, make some plays and get to where he can be. The dude's in his prime. The dude's my age. The dude, he's in his prime. So if he hits $7.5 million, their cap's already fucked up anyway. So it's not like it's really going to kill them. You know what I'm saying? And if they want to give him like a 4-year, big deal, then they can do that at the end of the season when they know, okay, we got the guy, and Cam says, I got the franchise. Is that how do you kind of see
Cam
party?
Cam is about to go ham. Right? I don't know how to say it. All right. You think that man ain't got a chip on his shoulder? You think he ain't, you know what I'm saying? You think he ain't upset because of how Carolina played him? Now, one thing he got to understand is that this is a fucking business, and everybody has moved on from great quarterbacks. I mean, San Francisco let Joe Montana go to Kansas City. Like, I mean, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean you got to like it. You dig? You ain't got to like it. And Cam was hurt. So now he's showing, like, I mean, he's got to show now that he's still that dude. And putting him in the offense with, what's the man's name? Daniels, I think is the offense coordinator's name.
Josh McDaniels, yeah.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels. Listen, I'm thinking Cam is gonna be. Cam about to go ham. It's about to be phenomenal. It's gonna be crazy, and I'm excited to watch it. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, it's interesting, right? Especially during these times, it is an interesting little wrinkle in what's happening.
Jay, look, and with everything that's going on, Cam landing in New England, is it the sexiest place to go? No, you know what I'm saying? Because we look at New England, it's kind of like a good old boy team. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With all the wonderful young black talent that they've had that helped them win Super Bowl, all we can think about is Tom Brady, right? So, and look at the Patriots as a good old boy team and kind of conservative. And then Cam Newton, like, yeah, that's the odd couple, if you will. But they got a ball player, like, period. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying, the man's former MVP, you know what I'm saying, like, they got a ball player. So, people say they want to say about it. Belichick gonna do what he needs to do to win, right? He gonna put together a team he needs to put together to win and be successful. And I think they just scored major. They best all-season acquisition, pound for pound, any team in the NFL.
Yeah, man. I think that's safe to say because, I mean, at the same time, while there's distrust about his health, you can't really say that about Brady because Brady is fucking 47 years old. So you can say, oh, well, he's the GOAT and he did this with New England. You don't necessarily know what is going to happen with the course of the season because you know his work ethic, you know his preparation. Is he going to hold up for 17 games going into the playoffs? It's like them blowing the dust off of Gronk. It's not going to be automatic, them just getting back to what they did with the Patriots. There's going to be a learning curve in the BA system, and you have to count on their health. That's a big concern with Brady's age and why Gronk retired initially.
Right, because he got 10,000.
Paul Hogan back.
Right, he got 10,000 concussions and 37,000 surgeries. So,
right,
hey Gronk, we wishing you the best. Right? Hey Gronk, we wish you the best, buddy. We do, really do.
Right, exactly. So look, man. I mean, Cam goes. You've been seeing the dominoes falling with the Kaep conversation. We talked about our last episode with friend of the show, Chad Carr. So I mean, now if we're just talking market. If we're looking at potential season where cats are going to be dropping and it's going to be like Shane Falco and the goddamn replacements because they're going to have to keep 6 quarterbacks on the roster because cats are going to be COVID. It stands to reason that the levee's going to break and Kaep is going to end up somewhere. And I got to tell you, it's funny. I've actually been thinking about it between the last episode and now. Why not back to San Francisco? If you really think about it. If you look at the depth chart, they got Jimmy G. They got our guy from the show, Nick Mullins, a.k.a. the real Big Dick Nick. And they got They got C.J. Beathard. With all due respect to C.J. Beathard, I'm cool, man. Like you can be on as a camp arm, or you may end up on another team. JB says it all with the motion. Why not?
Listen, hold on. I appreciate that. That's a hell of a point, right? I appreciate that, right? But I'm just gonna call it like I see it. He's going to Jacksonville, right? Right? They need a real quarterback in Jacksonville, right? And I think, you know what I'm saying, with the legs on, Kaep can be dangerous to give them some kind of success down there, right? Give them something to be excited about. Because they losing their whole life down there. Leonard Fournette wants out. Right? Who is their quarterback right now? Who they got a quarterback?
The Mississippi Mustang. Gardner Minshew. Yeah, Gardner Minshew.
Look, like what the fuck? You ever done it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, point blank. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, you're kind of. I mean, yeah, Gardner Minshew. You know, who really knows what you got with that? But I mean, but that's the thing though. But from Kaep, but that's the thing though. Now, from where the conversation has moved, Kaep has way more leverage, right? Kaep has a lot more leverage of where he wants to sign. Jacksonville sounds like a toxic as fuck organization. He has history with San Fran, even though it ended kind of bogus. It's a new regime in there. It's a new coach and a new GM. Right. So if they want to save some face, if they want to jump on the woke bandwagon, you already got. He hasn't played for another team since you guys. All the jerseys are still Kaepernick jerseys. He's not going to start. Right. You have your starter, and you know what he's capable of if he has to step in. And the team is already built and centered. The team is good to go, and basically everybody said they're going to kneel at this point. So why not bring Kaep in, have him compete with Big Dick Nick for the backup spot, and because you know who your franchise guy is. There's not going to be.
My guy cut, man. Look, you'll get my guy cut, man.
No, they're gonna keep Mullins. Mullins is either going to be on the roster or he's going to get an opportunity somewhere else because he deserves it. Right. He showed a lot.
No, every point you're making is completely valid, bro. Like that's. I mean, it all makes perfect sense to me, right? I can also see him going to Baltimore, right? Just because we all know that, Baltimore is probably the pound-for-pound blackest organization in the league. You know what I'm saying? From owners on down, like they're probably number one. You know what I'm saying? So I can see for that reason them, pulling him in, making him the third string quarterback, carrying through quarterbacks on the roster. Because we know RG3 is, right? One thing Kaep ain't never dealt with is a bunch of injury. You know what I'm saying? But we know RG3 is, I hate to call him Mr. Glass, but.
Yeah, but also, I mean, he's become a real reliable backup, and they have to be. I think the only way that happens is if they're willing to move on from RG3. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, look, I think for a lot of teams behind closed doors, even if they won't say it, I think a lot of the political shit about it is out the window. Now they're saying, okay, does this dude really fit with what we're trying to do? People say, oh, how about the Chargers? Well, they got Tyrod, they drafted Herbert. It's not going to happen there. Kaep is only going to sign in the place where he's guaranteed to be the backup and or compete to be a starter. Like, if he goes to Baltimore, he's going to have to compete with RG3, and the simple fact is he's been out of football. So RG3 is going to be ahead of him in the curve. So he's not going to get enough hate to showcase himself.
I still think that a head-to-head battle, Kaep would beat RG3 out.
I think eventually he would overtake him. Yeah, I think eventually
that's just me. I just RG3 no shade, bro. I call a spade at all times, bro. Like, I just think that Kaep's a better quarterback. He's better arm, better decision making, protects himself better. Like, just smart, all around smarter player when it comes to just the game.
And by the way. And by the way, talking about a Mr. Glass insurance policy, JB, we talked about this on the last episode when you made your correct prediction about the Patriots and Cam. Pittsburgh, what are you doing? Cut racist Mason Rudolph. Duck Hodges could be third string. Bring in Kaep. Roethlisberger is finished. I saw somebody put Roethlisberger in their top 5 today. I'm like, that motherfucker's been out in the woods growing his beard, fucking admitting that he's been boozing and jacking off all the place. Roethlisberger, you've had a Hall of Fame career. It's over, baby. It's like Philly Rivers. It's over.
Right.
Bring in Kaep. Enough of this.
Phillip Rivers ain't even had no Hall of Fame career. It's over. It's just over.
Right.
Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer?
No.
Thank you.
I mean,
I'm glad you said that.
He's not.
Why? What reasoning would you give him to be a Hall of Famer?
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, if we're gonna be honest, the totality of his career, he's like white Jameis. Like he can sling the ball, but he's throwing a lot of TDs and a hell of a lot of picks. He's Mr. 30. He's Mr. 30 for 30. ESPN.
Double digit picks damn near every year he's been in the league, bro. So yeah, and they question if Donovan McNabb's a Hall of Famer. Hell yeah, you're a Hall of Famer. What you mean? Hell yeah, you're a Hall of Famer. Anyway.
Yeah. Rivers ain't. Now look, I mean, we talk about signings because, you know, it's real news and we obviously have our perspective on it and information that's a little bit different than the talking head shows. But as JB said, when it comes to shows like Undisputed, shows that we don't sit down and watch and have it for a long time, it's because a lot of these shows are quite simply trying to fill time. And the honest conversation that we have to have with ourselves halfway through one of the wildest years in our lifetime is that is sports going to happen? I get that sports are happening, but sports as we know it, is that going to happen? And a deeper question, does it need to happen? Are sports essential with where we're at right now? I know it's kind of a deep psychology class question, but JB, I'm sure you've thought about it in different ways. Where do you stand on how close we are getting to the NBA bubble and supposedly training camp and all that shit?
To start off by answering the second question you asked, do we need sports? No, we don't. All right. It's extremely entertaining. It's time consuming. It's intoxicating. It's all of these things. But is it a necessity? No, not at all. Is it going to happen? Yeah, it is. I mean, as I stated earlier, the PGA playing tournaments right now. It's different, right? There are top-ranked boxing, having fights, nobody in the crowd. It's different, right? But you can watch it. You can watch it on TV, right? Staying safe. UFC's having a fight damn near every weekend now. And like you said, in fucking remote locations, you know, Gilligan's Island, I think they fought it last time. And so either way it goes, they're having these fights to give us our fix of sports. Don't need it, but man, it's good, all right? It's like we don't need it, but we gotta have it. I know that's how I feel, right? I don't need it. I'm not gonna die if the shit don't happen, but I gotta have it, right? Got to. Are sports gonna happen? Is the NBA gonna play this year? Yeah. They're gonna finish the year? Yeah, they are. Somebody's gonna win a championship. Asterisk or no asterisk, right? Somebody gonna win a championship this year. Is the NBA and NFL gonna happen? Oh yeah. I've said this 5 months ago. Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. Is it gonna be weird? Yeah, for the first few weeks. Yep. And after that, it's gonna be business as usual.
Mentals.com.
It's sad to say, but sports are powerful, right? They're powerful. I mean, they control emotions. They control moods. I mean, tell you the truth, you wake up and it's Monday, NFL season. Are you happy or not? You know what I'm saying? No matter what you got to do that day, right, no matter what kind of bullshit you go through, you can't wait to hear that music. Right? It's intoxicating, man. It's euphoric. You know what I'm saying? You need it. You need it, but you don't need it. Right? You want it. Gotta have it. You don't need it. Right? Yeah, football's gonna happen. Basketball's gonna happen. Baseball, probably not gonna happen. But they're actually the closest to saying play ball right now. You know what I'm saying? Because all the players just tell us where the fuck to go and we going, right? That's basically what they said. The NBA, their hold up is a lot of players like, hey man, y'all ain't gonna keep us safe, so we got to talk about this shit, right? The MLB's closest, their closest one of the big three that to get going right now. They're right there on the cusp. Basketball, again, there's some guys that are unsure about it and they're voicing their opinions. The big wigs in the league, you know what I'm saying? LeBron James being one of them. Of course, he's pretty much the spokesman for the players in the NBA. And when it comes to the NFL, I keep telling you, Benny, that money there ain't gonna never get interrupted. No shape, form, or fashion. That train, they're gonna keep rolling, all right? And no matter if it's COVID-19 or COVID-119, they're gonna be like, nah, fuck that. We finna make this bread. NFL season's gonna happen. Now, everybody made a big stink when they canceled the Hall of Fame game. But just so you guys know out there in review land, the Hall of Fame game is a fifth game for two teams in the NFL in the preseason. That is a fifth game. So it wasn't nothing for them to cancel that. That was easy, right? All it did was took away the pageantry and the festivities of the Hall of Fame inductees and all this shit, and you know, all the guys on the field with the yellow jackets on, and you know, it took away all that. Other than that, if you're going to Canton this year, your bus is already made, right? Whether you stand up there and give a speech or not, your head gonna be right there. And what is it? One Canton Way? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's where your bus gonna be. It's probably already sitting there, motherfucker. You real right? So, yeah, that's just how it's gonna go down, man.
But let me probe on a couple of things you said. You mentioned that, you know, sports can be a wonderful distraction, but beyond the whole COVID thing, with how it seems, as JB, and you know as well as I do, that this podcast is for the people, and how the people seem to have, in a lot of ways, other than kind of the COVID hysteria, in a lot of ways are starting to get the powers that be kind of by the balls. And there has been momentum that's been happening in and out of sports when it comes to the issues at hand, which we went deep on in our last episode. So when it comes to actual sports being played, and you've seen the arguments that the various NBA players have had amongst each other on their Zoom calls about how they want to be able to protest, or the demands that they're making of the NBA and the teams and the sponsors. Where does that leave sports in terms of, okay, we're getting this momentum. Do we risk losing it by kind of getting quote unquote back to business when we're in a position where, oh, we kind of got these guys by the nuts, and we got some powerful forces starting to cave. If we let our foot off the gas too early, where does that leave the progress, right? And then the second part of that is from an NFL, NBA, I think it's going to be weird, but they've kind of figured it out. The NFL is tricky because the proximity, the amount of people that are involved, and also when you talk about the money, they're missing a ton of revenue from attendance. So does it even make sense for them to even operate even in any sort of normal standards, considering they're going to be operating at a loss, right? Because now the NFL has to basically figure out their own bubble. So like, how is that going to play out? Because that's going to be different from an NBA bubble, right? It just is.
Instrumentals.com.
Well, as I stated earlier, Benny, it's going to be weird. It's going to happen. I don't know how, and I'm not going to predict it. I know how, but it's going to be weird. But it's going to happen. Yeah. All right? It's just going to happen. No matter how many scenarios and how many pictures we paint, or why maybe it shouldn't. It's going to happen. Here's what it is. Right? Like in the words of the great Sage Entertainer on Kings of Comedy, I don't know what to tell you. All right? It's just going to happen.
Right.
All right? And like I said, I'm going to say it again, it's going to be weird for the first 5 or 6 weeks. It's going to be weird. But either it's going to get back to normal real fast, or we're just going to get used to it, and we're going to be watching football. Shit, that's all I'm going to care about anyway. We're going to be watching football.
Right, true. I mean, but how do you think, to the first part of what I was saying, how do you think that affects it not only for this season, but for the bargaining chips they're going to have moving forward?
I mean, the players are getting more power, period. You know what I'm saying? This is just a pushing the fast forward button in a sense, right? But that's happening. That metamorphosis is happening regardless, right? It ain't got nothing to do with COVID-19, COVID-21, COVID-30. It don't matter. That's happening regardless because players are starting to realize, especially more so in the NFL. The NBA has been like that. You ask me, it's been like that in the NBA. Right. Adam Silver just made it a whole lot better because he's just such a player owner. I mean, a player, fucking, what is he, the goddamn commissioner? Yeah. He's such a player commissioner. You know what I'm saying? The NFL has a lot more hurdles to jump over, right? But it's happening, right? It's slowly happening. As much talent as there is out there in football, there's not a lot of top tier talent, right? So when the NFL, and if the NFL ever starts to try to just like water down their product, no matter how big the NFL is, it'll go to shit too, right? So yeah, that player power that's coming about, it's just going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to get stronger. It's just going to continue to happen, right? There's nothing going to stop that train either, right? Because it's happening, period. These owners they're losing power. You know what I'm saying? Although they want to maintain and keep it, and I hate to say it, but a lot of their power was coming from their old way of thinking and racism, right? And now that the wind is shifting on that. So
right,
it's happening regardless, Benny. That power that the players are gaining, it's happening. It's going to continue to happen. So this is a little bit of a boost, but I don't think it's that significant of a boost to say, oh, this is the reason why they should kick back and say we're not going to do it right now, because they want to get back to work because for them it's normal. Right. And it's going to make our world a little more normal. I think they're thinking about a whole lot more than just their health. Let's be real. Just to be completely honest. I think they're thinking about a whole lot more than their health. I really think these guys want to get the fuck back to work, bro.
Right.
Like, because just like us, we're feeling for our normalcy. So are they. All right. There goes some coaches, GMs, scouts, players. Motherfuckers just want to get back to work. Precautions, safety-wise, it's gonna be an ongoing, continuous thing that they're gonna have to shape and mold on the fly, right, to keep guys healthy. But that's the game they're willing to play. Real shit. That's for them. That's a byproduct. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Well, look, that's well said, and we'll leave it there. Now, JB, before I toss it to you, before your patented final thoughts before we end the episode, let me take a moment to speak with the reviewers.
Please do, sir.
Old, folks who are in high school, college right now, to older folks that they're listening to us from all over, right? We've been dealing with this thing for a while, and everybody has their different thoughts. Hell, JB and I have our different thoughts in terms of where it stems from. He thinks it came from a vial in the Pentagon, which it may very well have. I believe someone had a bat sandwich with extra horseradish in Wuhan, and it got I saw that cringe, and it came over here on a boat. Either way it goes, this thing is here. This thing is new. And quite frankly, the science shows that if we come together and we show empathy, we can curb this thing and we can actually get back to that sense of normalcy as JB spoke of. So while a lot of us may be carrying it, while a lot of us may not actually get sick from it, we need to look out for those less fortunate, our older folks, our poorer folks, our people of color that don't have the resources to do something about it if they get it. And if we can come together, we can actually do this, because Lord knows Pumpkin Dorito Dust, President of America with 3 Ks, Jackass in Chief, has a game plan. He doesn't want the job anymore. He's pulling the ripcord, and he's letting us fend for ourselves. So if we have to fend for ourselves, we have to be able to come together, and that will allow us to get this thing to a rate where we can do the things that we want to do, like watch NFL football, like kick it in Scottsdale, like go wild at EPLP here in LA. The things that make us feel like people. That's the only way we're going to be able to do it, because until we actually get our shit together collectively, however you feel about it, they're going to keep putting the restrictions, and they're going to keep trying to lock us in and do all that shit. So if you hate it as much as we're getting sick of it, let's come together. do what you got to do what you know is right, and it's going to be a hellified year, but I'll be damned if we forget it, because a lot of important things have happened here. Like JB said, a lot of things are already happening. It's got a little bit of HGH, just a little bit of the extra Sammy Sosa to rock them things over the fence. Sometimes that's what you need. You can say, oh, he was juiced up, but did he not hit the home runs?
Oh, yeah.
Barry Bonds still smacked them things because he knew how to hit.
Steroids don't help your vision, not one bit.
Bingo, exactly. That ain't a performance-enhancing drug for fucking LASIK surgery. So we still hit the ball. We're still making progress, but we have to be able to do it together. And with that, JB, I leave you the floor for the final words. What you got?
The viewers out there, racism sucks, right? Equality is what we all want, and it starts with you, right? Treat thy neighbor as you would be treated. Have yourself treated. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? And if we can do that, and we can start teaching our youth, right, to stop hating, right? That's because hate is taught. Let's be real. I mean, that's completely honest. And you guys out there in Viewland know exactly how I talk. Hate is taught, right? And that's on both sides of the color spectrum, right? From black, white, Hispanic, right? Because it's not just white on black racism, right? Yeah, it's, we racist too as black folks. You know what I'm saying? We've been taught to be that way because of all the shit that we done been through. But Mexicans is racist against black people, right? Like Puerto Ricans and Dominicans don't want to claim that they're black, right? It's just all kind of shit going on, man. But like Benny stated, man, we need each other, right? I love to say we need us. Like that's one thing that I love to say. I'll hashtag it sometimes when I'm talking about equality and things of that nature. Hashtag we need us, right? We do, right? We do, bottom line, we do. So, reviewers out there, if you are a parent of a youngin', teach that young man or young woman to be mindful of other races, to respect their views and their cultures, to love their race first and foremost and be proud to be what they are, but understand that we need us. Bottom line.
There it is. This is the JB and Benny Blue Review. Whether you listen to us or watch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, make sure to subscribe. Follow us at JB and Benny Blue and JBandBennyBlueReview.com for all past episodes, including episodes where JB just happens to predict the future. You can tap in with those as well. He's done it so many times. I can't even. He's done it.
I do this. Hey, and by the way, reviewers, I apologize for the allergy attack, man. It's no man know the time or day. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, it tends to happen every time I sit in front of this damn computer and this microphone. All right. Now it's just like, oh, we recording?
Yeah. If you're just listening, he might be sniffing like Tony Montana, but he's got the sniffles. And
that's right. I'm not
human. People like it, you know.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not over here on that product now. Don't you know what I'm saying? I ain't over here like fucking I ain't turn on that narcotic. I done quit that narcotic anime. That narcotic. Nah, that's just my sinus analogy, man. Acting the fuck up.
Yeah.
But hey, y'all follow us on all our social media platforms. Check us out on YouTube. Check out this episode, past episodes, all that. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Holla at us. What's that phone number, Benny?
818-850-2804. Information on Hog Talk coming soon. We're going to be adding that to the YouTube channel. You wanted it, you got it. JB's going to get
you better believe it.
Yep, you asked for it.
I'm going to break it down like motherfucking Turbo and Ozone.
That's a deep. Under 25 reviewers. That might know one of those.
Right, they like Turbo and Ozone. Is that a Nami? Is that a Nami? Is that?
Oh my God! Reviewers are out. This is the JB and Benny Blue Review Podcast. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Peace out.
I love.
Damn.
Yeah.